Summertime means sun and fun, but what if your kids are bigger into Shrek and Peter Pan than soccer and paddleboarding? Lake Dillon Theatre Company has the remedy with a selection of 4 summer youth theater camps for kids between 5 and 15 years old. Camps get started in June and run through August with 3-week sessions taught by theater company pros. Each camp runs Monday through Friday, just like other summer camps across the county, and kids learn the basics of acting, singing, teamwork, and collaboration. Each one then ends with at least one performance for the adults to see what they've done. With a few weeks remaining before the season begins with Shrek Jr., we spoke to Colt Neidhardt, Director of Education at Lake Dillon Theatre Company, and Anne Orban, Manager of Marketing and Sales, to learn more about the company's summer camps and why they're perfect for any kid with a flair for the dramatic. Phil Lindeman, Krystal 93 News Director, in the studio today with Colt Neidhardt. He's Director of Education and Community Outreach for the Lake Dillon Theatre Company, and Anne Orban. She's Manager of Marketing there at the theater. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you
for having us.
Of course. And we were talking that you two are pretty new to Summit County, not just new to the theater company, but also new to Summit County. Tell me a little about your background in theater and kind of how that led you to being right here in Summit County.
Yeah, so I'm actually originally from a little town called Crawford, Nebraska, up in the Panhandle, so just a couple hours away. And I've been able to work with theater companies around the country for the past several years, and have made several different places my home, Omaha and Utah and Richmond, Virginia, and Chicago, and all sorts of great places. But the opportunity to come back for such a wonderful position with a growing company here in Summit County is definitely an exciting opportunity, and I'm excited to be here.
And Anne, yourself?
Yeah, and I am from Rapid City, South Dakota. I was born and raised there, and my background in theater is a lot of college productions and helping out on a college level for theater. And then I went on to get a master's degree in marketing after I graduated with my bachelor's, and just kind of decided that after working in tourism for a while in Rapid City that I was ready to do more theater-based work, and so I found this job and was really excited to move over here.
Cool. Yeah, get back to a little bit of the arts calling. Now, were you two also active, performing theater in the past, or have you mostly been behind the scenes?
Yeah, primarily I've been an actor and director for the past 10 years. I did a MFA in acting from Louisiana State University and a master's in directing from University of Nebraska, Omaha, and I've really loved bouncing around and working with different companies on all sorts of different shows.
And I've done just a little bit of everything. There was one summer where I did a lot of acting as well as behind-the-scenes work, working in scene shops, and then also doing some of the business and marketing for our college summer theater program.
Very cool. So you guys have done a little bit of all of it when it comes to theater, but now you guys have kind of very dedicated positions, and part of that, I would imagine, is because Dillon Theater is growing, new space, all that other stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in spite of any of that growth or anything, there is always something in the theater community where everyone needs to be able to wear as many hats as possible and know how to do as many things as is humanly possible. So that's something that's really exciting about the job, and that's something that we really try to instill to our young people when we're working with them on our summer workshops is life skills as well as performance skills.
Yeah, and just in the marketing world, you kind of have to have a good knowledge of theater to be able to market it properly, making sure you know what's going on in the season, and just about theater itself. It helps convey the message you're trying to get out to your patrons, and it just helps bring more people in.
Perfect. And Colt, like you were saying, summer camp season right around the corner, and that's a pretty big part of what Dillon does. What are some highlights of the summer camp season? What can people sign up for now?
Absolutely. So we have 5 offerings this summer. We have Shrek Jr., which is coming up. Shrek Jr., which is coming up on June 11th. That'll run June 11th through the 29th. We also have Disney's Peter Pan Jr., and that's going to be happening July 23rd through August 10th. We also have Disney's 101 Dalmatian Kids, which is running from July 2nd through the 20th. And in addition to those 3 main programs, we also run a program called Playmakers, which is for kindergartners and first graders. And those are week-long sessions that run. We have one session starting June 18th, and then a second session that would start July 23rd. So we have opportunities for all ages from kindergarten to 9th grade to come in and work on shows with us, and also work on, life skills, things like communication, collaboration, empathy, critical thinking, creativity, all of those great intangible things that we can learn in the theater.
Yeah, more than just acting, more than getting out on stage. It's a little bit of everything. And like you said, all age ranges. What shows? So that first one coming up is going to be the Shrek Jr. What do kids need to know before they sign up for camp, or what should parents know before they sign up for camp too?
Absolutely. So right now, 101 Dalmatians and Peter Pan Jr. We do have full enrollment, but we are accepting spots for the wait list on those. And so to get added to the wait list, you can contact me at colt@lakedillontheatre.org. For Shrek Jr. and for the Playmakers camps, we do still have some slots open that we would love to fill yet. And you can contact me at colt@lakedillontheatre.org to get signed up for those. Shrek Jr. is a really exciting show. It's very similar to the first film in the DreamWorks franchise, and so it should be familiar to a lot of young people and parents. This version for the stage has been, the book and lyrics have actually been written by David Lindsay-Abaire, who's a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright. I believe he won a Pulitzer in 2007 for Rabbit Hole, but he's wrote a really wonderful, charming, and funny script for Shrek Jr., and the music is very high tempo, and there's a lot of great things to come play with us on that project for.
Very cool. And children's theater, it is a little bit different than adult theater. What do you personally like about working with kids, just especially in your role as doing the education side of things?
Yeah, I think the thing that's consistently rewarding about working with kids is that they are not jaded by the world. They haven't been completely drugged down by the world. It's like people like myself, we go to grad school for acting to kind of reattain what it is to be a kid and to break down some of the bad habits that we've acquired through adulthood and just living in the world. And kids already have that in spades. Like, they're open and they're ready to do this work, and they're great communicators naturally, and they're open to collaboration and having a lot of fun with their friends. So I think that that's something that youth theater always has.
Yeah, very cool. And like you said, it's a pretty fun play, a witty play, also a well-done production. Music in this one, or music in most of these?
Music in all 3 of the main shows, and then the Playmakers camps will probably involve some song, but that's going to be a little bit more based around fairy tales or popular children's books.
Okay. Yeah, the Playmakers one, that one's a real interesting one because that's for the very young kids. How do you work with the very, very young kids? What sort of skills and stuff are they going to be working on?
Yeah, with the very young, we focus in on just getting them comfortable being more performative and working with each other and being expressive. And I think at the end of the day, if we have them in a position where they're able to play with one another and to start to work collaboratively on some of these ideas that will come in handy when they're a little bit older working on theater productions, I think we've really succeeded in what we can do with that age group.
Now, both of you, having been in theater for most of your lives and having worked in theater as well, do you think it's important to get started early, or is it the sort of thing that you don't necessarily have to, but it would help?
Mm-hmm.
In my experience, I didn't really start in theater until, honestly, the college level, and I fell in love with it there. But I did do some stuff in high school and at a younger age, and I've always been drawn to performance, so I think that it's kind of something that lives within you, but if you're introduced to it at a younger age, it's something that definitely will help inspire you when you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so many of the world's problems come down to communication or an inability to communicate. Mm-hmm. So I think, we're not working on raising up like the next generation of television stars or anything like that. We're here to create good people first and foremost. And so when we can really work on those fundamental skills of communication and collaboration, and if we can help young people to see things a little bit more creatively in their day-to-day life or in other subjects, we're really succeeding at that.
Yeah, so this is not the Russian ballet of theater. You guys are not bringing out the whips.
Absolutely not. No, this is not based around discipline. This is based around community and having fun.
Very cool. And when it comes to working with kids, what do you find for both of you, if you've both worked with kids in the theater, is the most rewarding part for you personally? And then what do you find is the most rewarding part for the kids when they're all done with a summer camp?
Mm-hmm. I think the most exciting thing for any teacher is when you see that aha moment. When someone has... When a student is grasping a concept for the first time and then they're able to apply it, that's something that they can carry with them for many years or through many different experiences. So I think that's always really exciting.
Yeah, and I don't really work with the kids at all, but I would have to agree with Colt. In my past experience of working with children, that's definitely something that I would look forward to.
When the kids just seem to get it, when they get whatever it is, that movement or the dance step or the line that they forgot or anything else, it's pretty cool to see. What kind of kids are best for coming to the camps? What kind of kids do you find just really succeed and thrive?
We're really looking for anyone who is looking to get involved with the community and to work on a collaborative and creative project. So there's really no ideal type or unideal type. So really, we're taking everyone that wants to be involved.
Great. And finally, looking ahead, how do people get signed up and how can they stay in touch with what you guys are doing all summer long and then beyond summer?
Absolutely. So more information on all of our education programs is available at lakedillontheatre.org. Or you can also email me directly at colt@lakedillontheatre.org to get signed up today.
Excited to see some of that stuff. And then, of course, all of these shows are open to the public to come out and see, right, as they're doing their run?
Absolutely. So more information on show performance dates will be available through our website and social media as we go forward. And we usually try to have 2 different performances open to the public.
Actually thinking of one last question. As far as the camp sessions go, so how long are kids spending in camp? How long are they there every day? And then, what kind of work do they need to do once they get back home?
Absolutely. So our 3 large camps, Shrek Jr., 101 Dalmatians Kids, and Peter Pan Jr. are all 3-week camps, and those take place from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. We do also have the option of pre-care and post-care that could extend that day to from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. as well, if that is a better fit for some families.
What can they be doing at home when they're away from camp?
Absolutely. So I think memorization is always a big aspect of putting these shows on, especially since we are doing a fully staged hour-long production over 3 weeks. So I think working on memorization and getting those songs committed to memory and getting those lines ready and all of that is definitely a task that that can be worked on in rehearsal as well as at home.
Great. Well, thank you again to both of you for coming in to talk a little bit about summer camp season at Lake Dillon. Colt and Anne with Lake Dillon Theatre Company.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, Phil Lindemann on Krystal 93.